Ladies and gentlemen, the Speaker of the Gauteng Legislature, Honorable
Can you all remain standing for a moment of silent prayer and meditation? Thank you very much. We may all be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special sitting convened in terms of Rule 850 of the Standing Rules, which reads as follows. At the sitting legislature each year, the Premier must deliver an address on the state of the province. Furthermore, 50 subsection 2, which reads as follows. This is a special sitting solely designated to receive the state of the province address delivered in subsection 3, business that may be conducted at a special sitting will be the business for which it has been designated. Honorable members, our honorable guest, I would therefore like to introduce the Rail Ones Choir, combined with Subs Choir and the Mataka Chamber Orchestra, who will be leading us in singing the anthem, as the African anthem in subsection 1B, which reads as follows. The national anthem must be performed at the opening closing of the legislature. The members of the railway choir and the chamber orchestra take up their positions, and I will request that as they do so, we all rise to observe the national anthems. While we're still standing, we'll continue to sing. Thank you very much. We all be seated. gentlemen, let me acknowledge the presence of our Honorable Premier, members of the Executive Council, leaders of political parties, members of the National Council of Provinces, members of the provincial legislature, ladies and gentlemen, let me acknowledge our guest, the chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, the Speaker of KwaZulu-Natal, delegates, members and presiding officers of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature and their partners, former members of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature, the Minister for Public Service, commissioners and ambassadors, former speakers and deputy speakers of GPL, veterans and freedom stalwarts, the judicial institutions, secretary of provincial faith organizations, executive mayor, all municipalities in Gauteng, speakers and presiding officers of provincial legislatures, members of the Executive Council and their partners, speakers and the chief whips of municipal councils, and all councillors and members of the mayoral committee present, the Minister of Basic Education, who was also a former member of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature, Mama Angie, you are welcome. All the guests of the Premier, the guests of the Speaker, the guests of the Deputy Speaker, the guests of the Chair of Chairs, the guests of the Deputy Chair of Committees, political party guests, former members of the representatives, LSB members and members of its subcommittees, Chapter 9 and 10 institutions, all strategic corporate partners present, automotive sector, the metropolitan retail representatives, institutions supporting democracy, all city managers, citizens and stakeholders, people with disabilities, the women in business, the HODs of departments, the provincial level as well as national departments, organized labor, the Tamil community, traditional leaders, religious leaders, youth organizations, academia from all Gauteng institutions of higher learning, the veteran musicians, the cannabis representatives, the Gauteng Ethics Council, the NGOs, chairperson of the COVID-19 Advisory Council of the Premier, the Black Business for AIDS Council, the media and all other guests. Let me also apologize upfront if I did not mention your institution. It's not deliberate, but it's as per the brief that I got, but you are all welcome. And I know that we also have the Sateche family. I'm sure those that were involved in the student movement, you'll know if I talk about the Sateche, in particular speaking about Emma Sateche. We'll remember her as she died on the 12th of February 1984. We are all welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, let me therefore suspend the sitting for 3 minutes in order to allow the media to come and take photographs. Can members of the media come in front to take photographs for 3 minutes only, please? Thank you very much. Members of the media, can you please? Can I now call upon our Honorable Premier, Honorable P.A. Lesufi, to address the House, the people of Gauteng.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, Ntombi Mehwe, Deputy Speaker, Mevuyo Mhlakaza Manamela, the Chief Whip of the governing party, Lesego Makhubela, members of the Executive Council, members of the Provincial Legislature and NCOP delegates, executive mayors of Gauteng municipalities, provincial leadership of Salga Gauteng, leaders of political parties, recognizing Ntate Msimang Soli, and also recognizing the leadership of labor movements. I know the chairperson of COSATU in our province said he will not boycott this session, he will come here wearing a new suit. So I want to welcome him, the chairperson of COSATU. I want to acknowledge our former premiers, in particular former Premier David Makura, esteemed members of the judiciary, members of the diplomatic community, provincial commissioner, and heads of law enforcement agencies, the Auditor General of South Africa, the chairperson of the Gauteng Ethics Advisory Committee, Dr. Terence Nombembe, the chairperson of the Youth Advisory Panel, Wachile Low, chairpersons of Chapter 9 institutions, stalwarts, veterans of our liberation movement, captains of industry, and trade union representatives, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the residents of Gauteng. Her name is Emma Sater. She was just a 15-year-old student from Dr. H. Bete Secondary School in Attersville, Pretoria. On the 13th of February 1984, she joined other students at a school demanding quality education and a free South Africa. What followed will go down in South African history as one of the most brutal and morally outrageous acts. A police vehicle drove her over her tiny body, and she later died at a nearby hospital. This outrage pushed most of us into swelling the ranks of the student movement and the underground structures of our liberation movement. She died demanding a free and just South Africa. Today, however, history is assigning us the task of not demanding, but shaping a free South Africa into a society envisaged by Emma Sater and many generations before her. Please join me in welcoming the family of Emma Sater as my special guests. Emma Sater didn't die in vain. We are determined to bring to fruition what she and her generation sacrificed for. She may be gone, but she's certainly not forgotten. Madam Speaker, today is almost 4 months since we took an oath to reposition our province of Gauteng. We committed and pleaded that our provincial growth and development strategy, GGT 2030, will be supported with the following elevated commitments. 1, to accelerate the economic recovery and reconstruction of our province. 2, to declare crime, corruption, lawlessness, and vandalism as the enemy that must be mercilessly defeated. 3, to drastically change the living conditions of our people in the townships, informal settlements, and our hostels. We committed ourselves to strengthen the capacity of the state to deliver quality services to our people. We further committed to improve and capacitate government communication so that government can communicate better with our citizens. Madam Speaker, if I had a choice, I will not deliver the State of the Province address, as our people have lost confidence in what we say. They think we talk too much and do less. My preference would have been to take you to different sides of Gauteng to showcase the work we have done. Let me assure you, we will talk less and do more and get Gauteng to work. Today, let's openly admit that our province is a home of heartless and merciless criminals. They do as they wish. If this situation is left unattended, it will be the end of all of us. Our situation is correctly captured by Kgothatso Madisha, a journalist from the Sunday Times, when he writes, "In our country, we survive not because of the protection from law enforcement agencies, but by grace of God and sheer luck of not crossing paths with gun-toting criminals." He was responding to the completely unacceptable crime statistics of our country. So the issue of fighting crime should be our apex priority. We should unleash all our resources at our disposal to tackle crime. To this end, we are proud as this administration that we are increasing the budget of fighting crime in our province from 750 million to multi-billion rands in the next 3 years. Starting from the 1st of April, we will start to connect our suburbs, townships, business districts, schools, and other public places with high-tech face and car recognition CCTVs. We will arm our citizens with e-panic buttons that will be linked to our law enforcement agencies. These e-panic buttons will also be linked to our CCTVs and our new state-of-art in terms of integrated command center. What we mean here, Madam Speaker, is that every citizen, every time that they feel threatened, they will press the E button, and the E button will register in the offices of our law enforcement agencies and will unleash all forms of support to our citizens. We will unveil 2 new helicopters at the beginning of the next financial year, and also add 4 additional helicopters within the 2023-2024 budget cycle to send a strong message to criminals that wherever they are, we will arrive in full force. We are working with the private security industry, and they've also pledged their support to add all their resources to the pool that will utilize to fight and search for criminals. To ensure that our police are not sacrificial lambs in the battles with criminals, we are at an advanced stage to procure 180 state-of-the-art drones that will infiltrate areas that are difficult to patrol and to police. These drones are equipped with technology that can capture the direction of a bullet and where that bullet comes from. This will assist our police to be safe. From the 1st of April, we'll release 400 new cars to our law enforcement agencies to ensure that every ward in our communities will have a 24-hour patrol car equipped with proper gadgets. "6,000 young people have been recruited to go to training so that they can be combat ready to patrol our communities. These 6,000 young people who were unemployed 2 months ago, today they are fully employed and they are going to get a permanent salary. Their task is one and one thing only: where there is a criminal activity, call a backup of the police and ask our people. These young people will invade all our streets in Gauteng from the 1st of May, 2023. The private security industry is forwarding 10,000 people, armed, ready, to combine their forces and their resources with our forces under a joint command structure that will be guided by our Provincial Commissioner of Police. This is a strong message to criminals. No more playing days in Gauteng. We are ready to confront you wherever you are. In order to strengthen our fight against crime, we need to revamp our legislation on 3 crucial areas. The first one is the registration of cars, because cars are a common denominator in violent crimes, either as stolen cars or getaway vehicles. Number 2, we need to start the process to eliminate illegal guns in our province. These guns are killing our people left, right, and center. We also need to migrate our province to use less cash in business transactions. If we can manage these 3 things, registration of motor vehicles, elimination of illegal guns, and the need to migrate to a cashless province, we believe we would have started the battle against crime. The current number plates are running out of numeric and letters. We want to take advantage of this situation to introduce a new, very difficult to copy and tamper-proof number plate, so that those that are using wrong or duplicate number plates will have no time to drive through our roads in Gauteng. As we speak, we've issued the Government Gazette on the 17th of February 2023 for consultation and comments on the new security features. This new system will also assist in managing the abuse of temporary number plates. We also call upon our SADC countries to create a new database of all vehicles within the region, so that we can all have a common verification database of all cars that are coming in and out of our country. We've also issued a strict instruction to our law enforcement agencies to pull off those who continue to drive cars without number plates or fraudulent temporary permits. The abuse of fake blue lights are in the increase. A special unit to eliminate this phenomenon is going to be assembled in the next few months. Those with illegal guns are holding all of us hostage. They play God. They can determine who lives and who dies. Together with the private security industry, we have found a new solution that will assist in tracking stolen guns. And it will also assist in locating the owner and also following up on the cases that have been opened with the police using the necessary reference numbers on these guns. Colleagues, if we can remove illegal guns will remove all of us. We'll firstly migrate our law enforcement agencies' guns in this system, then request all those official gun holders to also register their guns so that their guns can be tracked. Remember, an illegal gun started being an official gun. So the sooner we have all our guns properly tracked, so that every time they are in the hands of wrong people, especially criminals, we can track them and also track the gun. To contribute to our desire to use less cash in business transactions in our province, we urge our retailers and other businesses to join the hospitality industry in eliminating cash transactions. If we all do so, we'll see less cash, less business robberies, less cash heist, and less ATM bombings. Gender-based violence is on the rise. We've now allocated specific funds to respond to GBV, including strengthening Green Doors project and working with Ikaya Letemba. We want to send a strong message to all men that are misbehaving. We are going to protect our women and our children with everything that we have at our disposals. Our women are not a crime scene, and our children will not be intimidated by cowards. Operation Okai Mulao has demonstrated good results. Even the minister has hailed this program and has encouraged all other provincial commissioners to replicate our model in intensifying their provincial operations. I want to take this opportunity, heartily so, to thank the Provincial Police Commissioner, Lieutenant General Elias Mawela and his team. This is the provincial commissioner that spends time fighting criminals than being in offices. I want to plead with you, Lieutenant General Elias Mawela, if by any chance a vacancy occurs and this country needs a new police national commissioner, please don't apply. We need you here in Gauteng to fight crime. As a sign of appreciation, as the Gauteng government, we've bought 75 new police cars and mobile police stations that will finally hand them over to the police as part of strengthening our relationship with the SAPS in Gauteng. We are ready to push back the frontiers of crime. We are ready to stop the long statistics about crime in Gauteng. If you have to close your eyes when you read statistics that are released by the national minister and remove Gauteng from those statistics, South Africa is not necessarily a bad country, but it's Gauteng and the Western Cape that are contributing to these large figures of crime statistics. Let's not politicize this matter, but all of us join hands to fight criminals toe by toe, wherever they are, in the air, in informal settlement, in town. As long as you are a criminal, we are now ready to tackle you head on. Our leader, the late Oliver Reginald Tambo, once said, a country, a movement, a person that does not value its youth and children doesn't deserve its future. Drugs are on the verge of wiping an entire generation in our province. I want to take this opportunity to thank thousands and thousands of parents that responded positively to our call center and said, Gauteng government, please come and save my child. We have heeded that call. By the end of next month, 75,000 young people who were using drugs will be in training, rehabilitation, and be removed from the society that was giving them drugs and be handed over to the society that will build their future. By next month, through our treatment and aftercare services, we'll reach more young people. We don't want to take them to rehabilitation only. We don't want to give them free medical help. We want to give them a second chance in life. All those that will go through this particular program, if they want to go back to university to study further, this government is prepared to fund their bill free of charge. Those that want to be trained and be skilled, either in plumbing, to be electrician, and other skills, this government is ready and prepared to fund those fees for them. We are now expanding our farm that is accommodating this youth in Cullinan, and we are ready to increase their bed size and their bed availability. In total, we are making available 1,351 new beds to accommodate these young people who went through the difficulties of Nyaupe. Lehlohonolo Sekgobele is 30 years. He comes from Parktown here in Johannesburg. He says he carries an empty box of matches every day as a reminder that he cannot go back to using drugs. He says, I smoked dagga and drank alcohol back in my high school days. But the habit got worse. And when I was doing my first year at tertiary in 2009, I started trying ecstasy with my friends at rest. We went on to smoke crystal meth, cocaine, cat, rock, and it became an ongoing thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud. Today, in this house, we have managed to rehabilitate Lehlohonolo Sekgobele, and today is a young man ready and firm to reclaim his life and to get. And Lehlohonolo Sekgobele is in the house. I want to acknowledge and thank him as well. This is the changes that we are making to our young people. They might be small, but they are impactful. If this young man was not assisted, who knows what would have happened to their parents, their belongings, and their assets. We will change Nyaupe addicts in our province one by one until we've defeated this phenomenon. Madam Speaker, the freedom we fought for will remain meaningless if our townships, informal settlement, and hostel remain in squalor with sewer flowing freely together with uncollected garbage. The gap between our townships and suburbs is growing unabated. This gap must be closed, and this state of the province address is setting a firm foundation for that particular mission. We commit ourselves that will convert our townships, informal settlements, and our hostels to be better and respectable. We are of the strong view that our townships are our new gold. With new malls and filling stations rapidly going up in our townships, we must ensure that these investments benefit our people. This House unanimously adopted the Township Economic Development Act, a blueprint on how we will support township businesses and fund them. We want this act to migrate from paper to practice. As the Gauteng provincial government, we commit, as I do now, that as of the 1st of April, we will use 60% of the 34 billion goods and services budget of this administration to support township businesses and township initiatives. We will establish a digital database to register these businesses so that we don't have people who don't stay in the township because we want to spend this amount of money, suddenly they want to come from the townships. We are told the reason our sponsor shops are struggling is because they don't have a collective buying power. We have now finalized a financing model to allow township businesses to have their own bulk buying mechanism through the establishment of a township-based warehouses and distribution centers. We have already launched 2 of these distribution centers. We have also adopted a prototype of these new sponsor shops that we want to support in our township so that we can differentiate them from the shops owned by foreign nationals. We are now ready to firmly reclaim our shops in our townships and support our business people in the townships. Every sponsor shop that we will support will be branded. Every sponsor shop that will be supported will receive free internet and banking services. Every sponsor shop that will be supported will receive orders from government-related departments as part of strengthening township businesses in our province. The township residential rental market, or the backroom economy, has been part of township economy since the beginning of time. We are upscaling the formalization and upgrading of backyard properties. We are empowering Abu Mustand to be in the real estate industry. I'm pleased to announce that 2,000 Abu Mustands have been validated for funding and 40 loans have been approved to the tune of 50 million so that they can upgrade the backyard houses and rent them properly and correctly. We also want to ensure timelessly the lodging of zoning applications should be accepted with speed by local government. We believe if we can put proper systems here, we will eliminate people that just built a backyard houses without proper plans and approvals. With our Gauteng broadband network, we will provide reliable internet in the townships and make free Wi-Fi available in strategic areas of our communities so that our children can get free data in our townships. We are bringing free Wi-Fi in our communities. If you want to taste our free Wi-Fi, use GBN network now in this house. You won't be disappointed. Honorable members, the taxi industry plays an important role in our township economy. We want to enter the development of township economy through taxi ranks. We want to build what we call taxi rank of the future. Together with the taxi industry, we want to invest lots and lots of resources in this sector. We've put together a seed fund of 20 million rands to assist the Taxi Association to share the vision of building a taxi rank of the future. The taxi rank of the future will have will be the shopping stations of the future. It will have shops that will have one-stop shop for taxis, banks, restaurants, and many other related businesses, such as filling station. A new model of a taxi rank of the future will be unveiled. We want our taxi rank to have sanitation, and our taxi rank to have water and shelter, and our taxi rank be capable to protect the elderly when they go to our taxi rank. This is the taxi rank of the future that we want to build. All major sporting and government gatherings, will now be held in our townships to support township economy. We are proud, after 11 years, this year Gauteng Sports Awards were held in the township of Shoshanguve, and they were a major success. This initiative boosted lots of township businesses, and we are now walking our talk. We are translating the act from paper to action. Madam Speaker, we must be the generation that should end informal settlements in our lifetime. We need to begin a process of managing, formalizing, and ending informal settlements. As part of ensuring that informal settlements don't escalate in our province, we are concluding the establishment of a 24-hour anti-land invasion tactical unit in our province. This unit will be fully equipped and backed by legal brains to stop the lawlessness of invading other people's land easily. Madam Speaker, we are intervening in 731 informal settlements in our province. Of this, we have mapped, enumerated 639 informal settlements, and we will be upgrading 179 informal settlements at the budget of 3.1 billion. We are committing ourselves as this government. Informal settlements are not dumping place for our people. We will beautify them and make them habitable with a long-term view of taking them to proper houses. Today, we have released 482 number of service stands. This is our new way of speeding the building of houses in our communities. This is a program that excites me. Instead of giving young people RDP houses, we are saying let's confine RDP houses to the elderly and those that are disabled. But young people must be given a stand that has water, electricity, sewer, and tar road, and they will finish on their own to build their own houses. We believe this is the future of unlocking the backlog of housing in our province. We are also aware that there are people that are occupying RDP houses that don't belong to them. Together with the Department of Human Settlement, we are starting a new process where we will use your finger as a key to open your house. Instead of giving you a key, you must use your finger, and if the finger is not opening, it's not your house. Load shedding is not permanent. Madam Speaker, I want to start by apologizing to our hostel residents for the total neglect of hostels in our province. I grew up at Block 4 Stucha Hostel in Tembisa with my late uncle. Hostels used to be beautiful and friendly. On the 13th of December 2022, I met with izindunas to share and consult with them our plans regarding the improvement of hostels. As government, we own 6 hostels in Gauteng, namely George Koch, Denver, GP, MBA, Marion Roberts, and LTA Retabi. We are committing ourselves that we are converting these hostels into livable spaces, and we are rolling out the services to all of them. As of today, we're finalizing connecting these hostels. All these 6 hostels are under our care and have been installed with free Wi-Fi and data as of last week, Friday. We are moving to establish the hostels of the future. We have appointed service providers who will clean these hostels frequently. We are repairing all broken windows, roofs, toilets, doors in all these hostels that are owned by the provincial government. We will install showers, Parliament. We'll repair all the toilets. We'll reconnect electricity where it has been disconnected. We'll collect refuse frequently with clearing services by personnel from the Gauteng government. From the 1st of April, all the 6 hostels will have weekly mobile health clinics with doctors and nurses. We want our residents in these hostels to get the necessary medical care. We also want to empower our children that are staying in these hostels. Together with the Department of Basic Education, we will introduce 8 early childhood or creches in the hostels and provide women living in these hostels with privacy and support. We want these hostels to be better. All the 6 hostels will have CCTV cameras to manage crime. We'll also have a 24-hour patrol car in each and every hostel so that the residents of these hostels must be safe. Lo msebenzi siwenzayo lo sisebenzisana nezinduna kanye kanye nomphakathi. To us, hostels are meant for human beings. To us, hostels must be a place for love, care, and comfort. Hostels must not be a place where people are not taken care of and supported. And I'm proud I've invited izindunas to this so that they can get it from me. Hostels will never be the same in this particular province. With slow growth in the economy, the negative effects of COVID-19 pandemic, this has led to a high number of homeless people sleeping in our cities. We've seen an increased number of homeless people in our traffic light stations and many areas within our cities. We can't just ignore this. You can't ignore homeless people. You can't ignore homeless children and say they will see to finish. We are proud. We've initiated a program that has now relocated 3,000 homeless people, and these 3,000 homeless people are now receiving a warm meal, medical support, clothing, and shelter. We are putting systems to prepare to give them support during the upcoming winter season. To be homeless does not make you a half human being. To be homeless does not mean your rights must be trampled with. We are prepared to protect the homeless and direct them to necessary institutions so that they are not homeless anymore. This is a commitment we dare not fail. The number of non-governmental sectors organizations receiving support from government has increased. We are spending 2 billion rands in the NGO sector. With this amount of funding, we should be impactful in the fight against social ills. However, this sector, not all of it, is riddled with squabbles and accounting irregularities. We can't just spend 2 billion rands with NGOs and there's no value or return in investment. We are now appointing an independent audit team to audit all our non-government organizations and redirect them to the new mandate of this new provincial government. Our mandate is simple. This money must care for the elderly, the vulnerable, and the poor. This money must not be used to buy cars and luxury of directors of these companies. We are reclaiming the NGO sector. 2 billion rands every year since 1994. It's a lot of money. 2 billion rands should be impactful. We should not have people that are going through poverty. We should also not have children that are homeless. We want to revamp, reposition, and strengthen this sector so that our people can get a return investment in this money. To mitigate urban hunger, we have set aside 64 million rands for food parcels, especially for people in poverty-stricken communities. We really believe there's no justification to have a fellow South African going to bed with an empty stomach. This 64 million rands will be used appropriately, especially to those that have been registered as indigents within our municipalities. We want to ensure in Gauteng there is no family that goes to bed with an empty stomach. In the current financial year, Gauteng has contributed 26 million for dignity packs for school children who don't have parents or who are coming from poor communities. Our dignity packs includes a bar of soap, toothpaste, deodorant, body lotion, toilet roll, sanitary towels, condoms, face cloth, and toothbrush. We are making children that are coming from poor families to be the same like any other child that is coming from any other family. We are on the side of the weak, the poor, and we are not apologetic. We are starting that road to defend the poor. Madam Speaker, honorable members, I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge a person that will forever remain special in my life, the Minister of Basic Education, Mme Motsega. It is through her support and guidance that I can proudly stand in front of you this evening. Honorable members, education plays a key role in our lives. It is only through education that we can take out the poor from poverty. It is only through education that we can grow a country. It is only through education that the economy of a country can be strengthened. Education is very critical. Madam Speaker, honorable members, please join me in congratulating the class of 2022 matric for the sterling work they did in achieving a pass rate of 84.4% in our program. Maybe when I say 84.4%, you don't understand it. What it means, out of every 10 learners that wrote matric in Gauteng, 8 passed matric. Not only that, of the 8 that passed matric, 6 passed with bachelor passes to go to any university of their choice. We as Gauteng, we are contributing close to 44,000 distinctions to the national education system. Of the 44, wait for this, of the 44,000 distinctions, 20,769 are coming from township schools in our province. This is a monumental achievement, and we must thank parents that still believe in our education system in the townships. We are turning the corner of quality education in our townships. In the year 2023, we are providing 4,000 young people with bursaries worth 360 million outside NEFSAS. We are the only province which invests 360 million rands in education and youth development outside NEFSAS. Maybe you don't understand this. What it means, every learner from every township school in our province that comes out number 1, number 2, and number 3 in matric, they will receive a 3-year bursary at the university of their choice from this government. On top of that, these learners will also receive a laptop to make their learning easier. Member Ramulif, a great achievement to note in these matric results is that Gauteng is closing the gap between former Model C schools and township schools with a pass rate that came from 12%. It's now standing at 9%, the gap. We are excited that in future, what we thought was not possible, to have quality education in every corner of our province, regardless of where we are born, is being realized. We want to thank those that have made it possible, especially the Minister of Basic Education, for her determination and commitment to make education better in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, today, here in this house, I've invited students that receive total marks, that is 100% in maths, business economics, and out of those learners that received total marks, 24 of them are coming from township schools, and today they are my guests. May I ask this House to join me in congratulating these super achievers. We want to protect these super achievers. Member Ramlif, we have never received total in maths. And your former leader, who's running another political party called BOSA, he thinks our children, when they pass maths, they pass matric, it's 30%. We've brought learners that have not passed 30%, 40%, 60%, 70%, 80%. They've passed their subject 100%. How I wish these learners can rise. Can these learners rise in the house? These are not a 30% generation. They are 100% generation. Go to those universities and show them flames. We are immensely proud of you. Keep it up. Thank you so much. But Madam Speaker, we do not want to sit on our laurels. So we are now benchmarking Gauteng against international countries by participating in international examinations such as PELS and TIMSS. Gauteng will participate in these international assessments purely because we want to learn from the best so that we can be the best education system in our country. Madam Speaker, our education system is overcrowded, which is exacerbated by high levels of in-migration. Unless we do something differently, our education system will collapse. Addressing this issue and learning from the experience of unplaced learners in grade 1 and 8, Gauteng has now budgeted 6 billion rands from our provincial coffers to build new schools in high-pressured communities in our province. We have further received a major boost from National Treasury to finally demolish mobile schools and asbestos schools. We will rebuild 18 new schools in Gauteng as part of this new program. We are mindful of the physical constraints, but we want to take this opportunity to thank and appreciate the National Minister and the national government, as led by President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, for allocating 1.5 billion rands to the Gauteng education system to build more new schools. We truly appreciate this gesture. In this regard, I would like the House to note that for the first time now, we will access resources from private sector financial institutions to fund infrastructure projects upfront, after which they will build, maintain, and transfer them to the Department of Basic Education in our province. To give learners a competitive edge and to prepare them for post-matric world, we will continue to roll out our schools of specialization. To date, we have 21 new schools of specialization, and by the end of this administration, this number will be increased to 35 schools. I want to congratulate Mr. Mashiane, a principal from Soshanguve Engineering School of Specialization, who became a winner of a Visionary Clean Tech Student Award in Abu Dhabi, and Mr. Mashiane will be representing his school and our country in the forthcoming Advancement Global Entrepreneurship World Cup in California, the USA. So what this means is that our decision to establish schools of specialization in our province is getting international recognition. When we spoke about schools of specialization, those on my left were criticizing us, thinking that we are hopeless and aimless. Today, we can confirm we are being recognized across the globe. Childhood development is key. We are pleased that the number of children registered in our ECD sites has increased. As part of the process to bolster our education system, we are now ready to build the ECD of the future, starting with one that will be unveiled in Soshanguve. We are committed in enrolling ECDs of the future across 5 corridors. The ECD of the future will have classrooms with indoor splash pools, ICT centers, a water recycling area, the use of technology, and most importantly, sporting areas. Coding and robotics will be compulsory in these ECDs. We will prepare our children for the 4th industrial revolution. We are also pleased that these particular children will receive special care and special attention. What this basically means is that gone are the days where our children in creches, they only come to sing, eat, sleep, and go home. In these new ECDs of the future, they will be taught about maths, physics, at an early stage so that they can be the future that we want. Honorable members, young people constitute 39% or 5 million of the total population in Gauteng. About 2.3 million of these young people could be classified as not being in education or employment. Therefore, as a province, we will continue to place youth development at the center of our planning. I'm happy to announce that our provincial cabinet has approved the Gauteng Integrated Youth Development Strategy, the only province to have this strategy. Honorable members, the youth strategy is a blueprint of how this government will respond comprehensively to socio-economic challenges facing young people in our province. In addressing the youth challenge, the Gauteng government has, over the years, committed to procure goods and services from youth-owned businesses in our province. Between April and December 2022, we have spent 1.6 billion rands in youth-owned companies in this province. The future belongs to our young people, and we are proud that we are investing in their creativity and their businesses. The Gauteng Youth Advisory Panel members are providing oversight over all of us so that we can plan the future with young people. You can't speak about the future when you are not going to be there. You must plan the future with young people now so that by the time they take over, they understand everything. I want to take this opportunity to thank the co-chairperson of the Youth Council, Uagile Lo, for their diligence and their hard work. Our Presidential Youth Employment Stimulus Program in this province has attracted 100,000 young people. This has given them workplace experiences. And by the end of this term, 152,000 young people will be employed by this provincial government. Of this, majority of them will come from our crime prevention wardens, new opportunities that we are creating in various departments so that young people can get job opportunities in our province. Madam Speaker, sadly, women bear the brunt of poverty. They are the pillars of families in society. We continue to pay attention to women empowerment and gender equality in our province. We are the only province that has integrated gender responsiveness in budgeting. I'm also happy to report that the budget allocation towards women empowerment in this financial year has been increased into billions of rands. This will ensure that businesses that are owned by women are given the necessary jobs by this government so that they can be in a position to grow as well. Through the LGBTIQA office in my desk, that is located in my office, will continue to strengthen efforts to mainstream issues of this community. Over the years, we have committed to ensuring that inclusion of people of disability in our government is accelerated. Member Msimang, I think this one is the one that we've been waiting for. Residents of Gauteng, we are pleased to report that e-tolls have been scrapped permanently in our province. Together with the Minister of Finance and Transport, we will make a joint announcement in this regard. Together with national government, we are on the verge of agreeing on all matters that will finally allow us to gazette the switching off of the countries, but most importantly, to agree on the debt repayment methods and money collected from paying customers as well as funds not collected from non-paying customers. We are of the strong view this chapter, this part of history in our province will now be finally buried and will continue with our lives without e-tolls in this province. As the generation that grew up in dusty streets of our townships, we cannot let our next generation to choke on the same unpaved streets due to continued failure of government to catalyze development. Over the past few months, we have engaged all our municipalities, and all, except Tshwane and Joburg, have agreed to partner with us through a memorandum of understanding so that all major untied or dusty roads that are main roads in all our townships, as this government will take them over and tar them in our communities. We can grow in dusty streets, and our children also grow in dusty streets, and our children's children continue to grow in dusty streets. This investment will assist us to ensure that our streets in our townships are clear. I'm also pleased to announce that the Naledi Park Station, Mabopane, Sosville to Pretoria train lines are back in full operation. We are working with PRASA to speed up the opening of additional lines such as Vereeniging and Germiston. We are also in deep discussions with the Limpopo provincial government to formally start a process to link Gauteng and Limpopo through a new, faster, efficient rail network so that you don't have to get stuck on that N1 when you go to Limpopo. We are now formally linking with Amapubesi. Madam Speaker, sports play a critical role in economic development. Gauteng is blessed with abundant artistic and athletic talent. Thus, our approach is to use sport and arts as a vehicle for economic empowerment and transformation. We are now starting sports development at ECD level, not only from primary schools. As part of our investment in future sports schools, all our ECD centers will have a compulsory dedicated Sports Wednesday so that our children in creche can start participating in sport at that level. As part of our investment in sports, we are going to upgrade dusty, rundown sporting facilities in the townships. We are taking a firm stand to roll out artificial pitches in all frequently used township grounds so that our children and our young people can play soccer, netball in a proper pitch. And I want to thank the leadership of Netball SA, the president that is in the house, and we want to urge bring back that Nedbank World Cup to Gauteng and ensure that our women bring back that trophy. We will support this initiative and ensure that we get loot and encourage young women to play netball. We have initiated a process to build a soccer museum within the FNB precinct, which will be used to archive, curate the rich history of soccer in our province. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome and thank, as my special guest, the first person that scored a goal in World Cup in our country, Spiwe Tshabalala. The public health system in Gauteng is the largest and most significant in South Africa. It occupies a strategic role in providing healthcare. It also occupies a strategic role in training and research in the Southern African region. We strongly believe that the challenges of distribution of medication, queue management, file management, and medical legal will be minimized. We are putting our resources to establish a new digital medical health system in our province. This new digital medical system will ensure that one citizen will have one medical file, so that we don't have people that are coming in our provinces registering themselves with false name for the purpose of utilizing our medication and leaving our province. The one file, one patient digital process will start soon with the team from health. We are also decongesting the flow of traffic in our healthcare facilities through the Central Chronic Medicine Dispense and Distribution Program. This program will allow people that are receiving their monthly medication not to come to our hospital, but will take this medication nearby their houses. This will save time and resources to our people. We are also fast-tracking the application with National Treasury to give us our health infrastructure budget in advance, so that we can rehabilitate and build new hospitals in Gauteng, especially in Oliven, Diepsloot, Daveyton, Orange Farm, and other new townships that are looking for new hospitals. We are aware of the seriousness of the recent measles outbreak, and our systems are in place to respond to this emergency. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable members, healthcare facilities in townships will be preferred for upgrading. Mamelodi Hospital is an example of how we are changing the face of public health from the worst performing facility to a world-class facility. In the new financial year, we have completed and operationalized 6 new clinics that will finally bring the much-needed services to the people of Hammanskraal, Daveyton, Soshanguve, and Sebokeng. In recognizing that we have the largest healthcare system on the continent, we are now moving with urgency to establish a state-owned pharmaceutical company in our province. We have completed the baseline study, and it strongly supports the establishment of a pharmaceutical company. This will ensure no hospital and no clinic in our province will ever again run out of medication. It will further assist us to have all forms of medication when needed by our people. We don't want Panado to be a common medication that is given for everything that we suffer. We want to start a process of respecting our people and giving them the medication that they deserve. And the process to establish a pharmaceutical company will assist. We've also mandated Provincial Treasury to lead the implementation of a state-owned developmental bank of our own in our province. And I want to clarify this point, Member Msimang. Our 4-roomed houses in the townships can't remain 4-roomed forever. When our people apply to upgrade those 4-roomed houses, they are declined by commercial banks. But when they apply to buy cars, these commercial banks are quick to give them money. We want to enter that space as this provincial government to change the face of our townships forever and make our townships look like any other urban area. And through our developmental bank and many other things, we'll also support upcoming entrepreneurs with the investment that we have in this particular sector. So we are ready to unleash this developmental bank. We've received a report and we clearly spelled out, or this report clearly spelled out, that this is a sector, after consultation with the necessary institutions and legal agencies, we can play a crucial role in developing our communities. We are pleased to report back that the legal due diligence exercise has been completed. We are now entering a new phase of broader and wider consultation on the appropriate and most feasible model to execute this very important transformational task. The State Security Agents, SSA, was authorized to conduct lifestyle audits on the Premier and MECs. These lifetime audits were finalized, and our former Premier, David Makura, released these reports that indicate no single MEC had a conflict of interest with this government. This new administration has taken a decision that the new 3 MECs must also undergo a similar lifestyle audit to ensure that we conclude this matter. In addition, we are now subjecting the following to lifestyle audits with immediate effect: the Acting Director General of the province, all heads of departments, chief executive officers of GPG entities, and officials in high-risk areas like supply chain and finance. We really believe they must go through the lifestyle audits. Madam Speaker, we remain committed to release reports of the special investigation units and will continue to implement recommendations of the final investigation reports. We have put measures in place to address identified weak internal controls and refer matters to the special tribunal to assist with the recovery of our funds lost through corruption. On the 13th of December 2022, we released 3 SIU reports, which are Tembisa Hospital, Anglo Ashanti, and driving license testing centers. If it's there, it will come out. Thanks. Madam Speaker, collectively, all local government municipalities in Gauteng owe Eskom 8.6 billion rands. Of this, 6 billion is owed by Emfuleni municipality alone. We must intervene to assist this municipality. This municipality has a great potential. Recently, we led a delegation to meet with officials and stakeholders of Emfuleni, together with Eskom management. Working together with the municipality, we are developing tangible programs to assist this municipality with its challenges by appointing a capable municipal manager and chief financial officer. The other municipality that is worrying us is Tshwane municipality, which has deteriorated, is struggling to pay Eskom, and the latest Auditor General's report has painted a bleak picture of a collapsing municipality. We will intervene in this municipality as a matter of urgency. Let me take this opportunity to bid farewell to the mayor of Tshwane, whom unfortunately I never had an opportunity to meet because he always apologizes when I want to meet with him. Madam Speaker, last Friday I took a site visit to Gautent, which galvanized our resolve to ensure the well-being of our residents in that part of our country. On this walkabout, led by the mayor and councillors, we were accompanied by interested parties and representatives of the scientific team from the African Center for Disaster Studies. This scientific team is assisting the province to immediately find a workable solution to prevent loss of lives and ensure food security and well-being of our residents in Gautent. If we do not act, this community will be swallowed by sinkholes. I want to take this opportunity to thank Mzamo Bokhaso, a young man who risked his life to save an old man from a sinkhole at Ward 8, Gautent. Mzamo is our guest this evening, and we want to demonstrate to young people, when people are sinking, you don't take a camera to videotape. You go in there and assist those that need our assistance. Mzamo is our example, and I want to thank him if he's in this house. Every day, we are inundated with emergency calls as houses are collapsing. We have now reached a stage where we have to declare a state of emergency in this municipality. Together with the minister and other relevant departments, we are finalizing the necessary paperwork that will assist in determining whether we can declare that area as a disaster area. In the interim, the Gauteng provincial government will do the following. We'll establish a permanent emergency disaster site in that community. We'll utilize technology to assist us to do early detection of sinkholes. We'll provide psychosocial support to affected families. We'll run a public campaign about dangers of sinkholes, and we'll also urge communities in dangerous areas to please accept our call to migrate to areas that we've identified for them. The Vaal River Dam disaster is also receiving our immediate attention as well. We'll continue to assist our residents in that particular area. Honorable members, climate change is here to stay. The air quality in the region continues to deteriorate. The water quality and now quantity is on a decline. This places vulnerable sectors more at risk. As government, we are making efforts to mitigate against the factors which contribute to climate change. Amongst other efforts in combating climate change, we are investing in green technology and planting of trees. It is quite clear, honorable members, that we have now entered the era of disasters. We have to be ready as this provincial government, because these disasters, if we don't plan appropriately, what is happening in Turkey and other parts of the world will happen in our country. It's for this reason that we are establishing a new combat-ready disaster management center, which will have state-of-the-art disaster management equipment. It will also house helicopters, drones, and highly skilled personnel that can respond within the shortest possible time. Areas prone to disasters, such as Jaskei River in Alexander, will receive additional support to relocate within the shortest possible time when there is a disaster in that community. I want to come to the issue of load shedding. Yeah, sure. Thanks. Are you fine, Member Albert? Cheers. In whatever we do, if we don't take a load shedding and ensure that our province remain the economic hub of our country, we'll face biggest challenges. It will be difficult for us to accelerate the economic recovery. So we welcome the declaration of the national state of disaster by President Cyril Ramaphosa during his State of the Nation address. Gauteng province electricity deficit is forecast at 4,058 MVA by 2025. This is slightly going to go high, taking into consideration Eskom's inability to generate more from its current fleet. As Gauteng, we've been working on finding everlasting solution to the energy crisis. We've established an energy crisis response team that engages with the National Energy Committee and working with local government and energy experts. We acted with the agency and convened an inaugural Energy Solutions Expo to solicit views on what exists in the market with the idea of creating partnership to assist in finding lasting solutions. We are pleased with the overwhelming response from the industry experts who provided much needed knowledge on what we can do in the immediate, medium, and long term. Commercial banks, development financial institutions, and other financing institutions are now eager to partner with the Gauteng provincial government. To set the ball rolling, as this Gauteng provincial government, we are releasing 1.2 billion towards resolving the energy crisis in Gauteng. In few weeks, we'll appoint 6 developers who will commence with the construction of an 800 megawatt solar farm in Morafong. This will be followed by the installation of rooftop solar panels in government buildings, especially hospitals, clinics, and schools. We will engage with the City of Johannesburg to allow us to utilize city power, as well as the City of Tshwane, to allow us to utilize the Roval facility with an intention of supporting them to expand and generate more power through the resources that we make available in partnership with these municipalities. We'll also meet with owners of Kelvin Power Station to establish how we can partner with them to limit load shedding in Gauteng. So from next week, we'll advertise a call for proposal for alternative supplies of energy that can contribute to the solution of energy crisis and the reindustrialization of Gauteng. We have learned from the procurement of PPEs. We'll work with the Gauteng Ethics Advisory Committee and the Auditor General to ensure that the processes are transparent, fair, and equitable. Honorable members, from the 1st of April, we'll also invest in rooftop solar panels in health facilities. Together with municipalities, we'll roll out smart metering that will ensure that those that are utilizing lots of electricity are minimized through this smart metering so that they don't harm other people that are sparing electricity. We'll work together with national government because we strongly believe that Eskom can be assisted, that Eskom can be rescued, that Eskom will get its footing and the support that national government will give to Eskom will ensure that finally Eskom bring electricity back in our communities. We have been inundated with concerns about unpaid invoices that could not be paid, or invoices that are withheld by our officials who don't want to process these invoices because they want to be bribed before they can process these invoices. We are proud that we are going to establish an invoice dispute resolution unit that will ensure that all invoices that are disputed must be resolved within 7 working days unless those invoices are part of investigation through acts of corruption. All invoices from small businesses must be paid without further delay, and we want to assist these small businesses. So this newly fledged invoicing dispute resolution unit will serve as an ombudsman for disputed invoices. This unit will be obliged to resolve all these disputes within 7 working days. Another thing that is delaying the implementation of infrastructure projects is the challenges that we are having when people submit their procurement plans. People rush their procurement plans without due analysis. We've taken a decision as this Executive Council that a project, before it can be funded, it must go through a procurement plan analysis unit to determine whether this project is ready. Because in previous instances, we rushed projects and ended up underspending in big projects in our province. This new procurement plan analysis unit will eliminate underspending in infrastructure projects. We are proud of the following departments that are now paying service providers within 15 days instead of 30 days. The Department of Treasury, e-Gov, and Human Settlement. Thank you so much, MEC Mike. We are also proud that 12 of 14 departments have been paying service providers within the required 30 days. To pay service providers on time is not a favor. It must be a must so that business people can grow. We have started implementing stringent consequence management for failure to pay service providers within 30 days. As I conclude, our people are not difficult. They are just asking all of us gathered here to do one thing and one thing only, to do our work. To do our work within budget, to do our work within the timelines, and to do our work without misusing public funds. If we do our work, there will be no need for our residents to pay for private medical aids. They will receive public health system. If we do our work, there will be no need for residents to pay their hard-earned money for private education. They will use the public education system. If we do our work as government, there will be no need for our people to pay for their own CCTVs, alarms, butler doors, private security guards, because the police will be there to police our communities. If we do our work, there will be no need to worry about the cost of fuel, as we'll have a dependable public transport. If we do our work, our people will not have to pay for generators, solar panels, inverters, because there will be no load shedding. As long as all of us gathered here, honorable members, are not using public schools, it means we are not doing our work. As long all of us gathered here, honorable members, are not using public hospitals, it means we are not doing our work. As long all of us gathered here, honorable members, are not using public transport, it basically means we are not doing our work.